Hi there. Our top story on Indian Express Opinion Videos is the all-important meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump. Now, we know that Prime Minister Modi in Washington, D.C. has already met the Indian diaspora as well as some of the biggest names in US industry, names some of those who are of Indian origin like Sundar Pichai, Tim Cook of Apple, and a lot of other hotshots. But to explain why the Prime Minister is in the US, what is the importance of this meeting with the US President, I have on the other side of this line in Washington, D.C., Shubhajit Roy, Indian Express's ace correspondent covering this visit. Shubhajit, tell us, what is the importance of this visit? Why is Prime Minister Modi come all the way to the US to meet Donald Trump?
The Prime Minister has come to the US for the 5th time, and he will be meeting US President Donald Trump for the first time in a face-to-face sit-down meeting. This bilateral meeting is extremely crucial for India, especially because there are a lot of divergences of views between India and the new US administration under Donald Trump. What will be the outcome, we'll have to see, and this is what will play out on Monday at 3:30 p.m. The talks will begin and it will continue till late evening when Prime Minister Modi will be hosted by President Trump for a working dinner, which is for the first time he'll be hosting at the White House for any foreign leader.
Now, Shubhajit, we know that the Indian government has been quite concerned about Trump's policies on H-1B visas as well as on China, the other big story that has been dominating the newspapers here. So what is the importance, what is the significance of this meeting later tonight between the two principals?
There are a host of contentious issues on the table. From India's perspective, the H-1B visa issue is a very significant one, and that is something that worries India because President Trump's promise and intent of reducing the H-1B visa program. The other issue include the issue of climate change, where US has withdrawn, has pulled out from the Paris Climate Accord, whereas India has said that it will abide by the agreement. Then there is the issue of terrorism, and India would like to get a sense from Donald Trump whether it will come down hard on Pakistan-based and Pakistan-sponsored terrorists. These are some of the contentious issues, and there are divergences in views between the two countries. India will try to impress upon President Trump that his America First, Buy America, Hire America, American Products campaign is not at odds with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Make in India campaign. They go hand in hand together, and that is, I think, would be one of the issues that both the leaders will talk during the 5-hour meeting on Monday.
Now, Shubhajit, coming back to the China question, we know that Donald Trump during his campaign was very critical of the Chinese. He talked about China being a currency manipulator. But ever since he's become president, his whole tenor has changed. When Xi Jinping came to the US, he hosted him at Mar-a-Lago, his own resort in Florida. So do you think Trump and the Americans have changed the position in China? Do you think India can trust Donald Trump on the China question?
Well, that's a great question. But India doesn't have a choice but to trust Trump. President Trump, although has been very fickle-minded, especially as he pointed out his views in China. He said something in the beginning of his term, and then when President Xi Jinping visited the US, he changed his position. But what we have to understand that these leaders engage pragmatically with each other, and India would look at a transactional relationship with Trump. And Trump, because he's been a businessman, it is assumed right now that till it is proven otherwise, that he would conduct business and deal making in this style. So I think Prime Minister Modi would be able to strike that working rapport, working relationship with US President Trump.
My last question to you, Shivajit, is about the US's views on the Afghanistan-Pakistan region. We know that just about the time Prime Minister Modi landed in the US disbanded its special representative for the AFPAK while it is still undertaking a review of this region. What do you think the two leaders will be talking about? What are the issues at stake? What does India want?
Well, it's too early to say what are the Trump administration's views, because they are undergoing an interagency policy review of their position on Afghanistan, Pakistan. But from India's perspective, the terrorism emanating out of Pakistan is a big concern, a great concern. It was pointed out by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his speeches across the world, including in DC on Sunday when he talked about this issue. Now, because terrorism is such an important issue for India, and especially emanating from Pakistan, how President Trump and his administration deals with the question of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and how it deals with Pakistan's based terror groups, or does it take a selective view? All those factors would be very, very important, very, very crucial on how India would deal with the US in the years to come.
I'm afraid that's all we have for now. All of us will be watching the meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the US President later tonight, when several of our questions are expected to be answered. Shivajit, I will return to you tomorrow to explain the significance of that meeting. That's all for now.